Breaking news at 6, multiple brush fires burning across southwest Florida, from Collier to Lee to Charlotte counties, forcing thousands to evacuate. Good evening, I'm Peter Bush.
And I'm Lisa Spooner. The latest fire sparked within just the last hour in Lehigh Acres. Take a look at these pictures that are coming into our newsroom. We're told this fire is threatening homes near West 9th Street and Ann Avenue North. Firefighters are telling homeowners, get out, but some people are choosing to stay. NBC2's Jesse Pagan is on scene. He joins us on the phone. Jesse, describe what you're seeing.
This is just a crazy scene out here, really, to just put it the best that it is. There's a lot of people coming through, trying to find out if their homes are still intact, if their things were able to make it out by family members or neighbors grabbing whatever they could. Right now, since we last talked a few minutes ago, deputies and firefighters have pushed us even farther back. Right now, we're about 19th Street West and Hannah Avenue North. This has kind of become the meeting point for a lot of neighbors in this neighborhood. A lot of people on the phone just really trying to find out what is happening and what's really happening to their homes. As I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, in the last half hour, a family was here very close to the fire, watering their lawns, sprinklers on, putting water on their roof, trying to save their home as best as they could. Since then, that family got in their cars and drove away. They quite literally ran away to their cars and driving away, throwing in the towel for now. But I'm sure keeping up hope on whatever they can do here. Firefighters trying to keep this under control as it just keeps creeping closer and closer along this way. Our live truck just got to the scene a few minutes ago. We will work to get you some video and some images of what's really happening here as soon as we can. For now, of course, count on us to keep you updated on this as we have been all evening long. I'm live in Lehigh Acres. Jesse Pagan, NBC2.
Jesse, thank you. The biggest fire right now is in Collier County. It's burned nearly 5,000 acres. It has destroyed 5 homes near 30th Avenue South. Tonight, it's only 10% contained. One Collier County homeowner chose not to evacuate. They were burned and had to go to the hospital. NBC2 has live team coverage. We begin with Risa Morris, live off Golden Gate Boulevard.
Peter, I'm here at the command center where officials have been coming in and out, making some really important decisions here about evacuations. You mentioned that one homeowner, we learned they decided to try and stay and protect their home. They were burned and taken to the hospital. In the meantime, the chief is telling us that his crews are trying to get a handle on this fire, but the weather is making it really difficult. It was a crazy afternoon for Jack Burnson as he watched his family nursery go up in flames.
It came out of nowhere, it hit us hard. We've had maybe 1 or 2 hours to get everything packed up and ready to go, start watering and hosing down the house.
As he was packing his valuables in his car, deputies came up telling him he had to get out.
It's an absolute tragedy. Our farm's burning down. I ran back here through the smoke and fire to try and save our last tractor. He's
one of 2,000 families evacuated tonight as emergency crews continue to fight this huge brush fire.
This is what we planned for. Yes, it's great to know that when I'm on the phone and the chief of Miami-Dade Fire Rescue says, Kingman, what do you need, that the support is there.
State, federal, and local firefighters are all out here with helicopters and planes, and even more fire crews are coming in from the East Coast. But the way they handle this thing all changes as soon as it gets dark.
So we won't be quite as aggressive because we can't put our people out into the woods.
People who live in the area say they can't believe how close this is.
So my house is right in that direction where the flames are. And this is my father's home right here.
The chief was telling me that usually around this time the winds die down, the humidity starts creeping up, but he says that's not happening right now, and that's really worrying them. They're moving this command post behind me back to the Collier County EOC. They say that's just for logistical purposes. The next briefing will be at 8 o'clock tonight. Reporting live in Golden Gate Estates, Risa Morris, NBC2.
And this fire has forced thousands to leave their homes. Everyone in the shaded area, you're in a mandatory evacuation zone. It's from Golden Gate Boulevard south to Interstate 75 and from Collier Boulevard east to Wilson Boulevard. There is also a new location just west of Collier Boulevard. So anyone living in the Noah's Landing apartments next to Golden Gate High and Mike Davis Elementary, you need to get out.
I'm scared. I don't even know what to think right now. Seriously, I just want my kids.
There's people trying to cut in line. There's people trying to, shimmy up to the front.
The fire also put the Collier County School District in emergency mode today. Students from Big Cypress Elementary were evacuated and bused to Oak Ridge Middle School. Parents told us it was pretty chaotic. Some waited 2 hours to pick up their kids.
And Governor Rick Scott deploying the Florida National Guard today. A Black Hawk helicopter and 4 other helicopters are on standby to help with evacuations and firefighting missions. Florida Fish and Wildlife and also Florida Highway Patrol, they're all ramping up extra units to help with evacuations as well. Now, several evacuees are taking temporary shelter at the Golden Gate Community Center. NBC2's Devin Turk is there continuing our live team coverage.
That's right, Lisa. More and more people have come here as the day has gone on, and even though we're a couple miles away from where that fire is, I want to show you just how thick the smoke is out here. Check that out. That view is from the top of our mast cam there, and the smell of smoke has been in the air all day. Ash has been coming down. I was even all the way up in North Naples, and you can still see it, you can still smell it, but it's even scarier for those living out in Golden Gate Estates. Sleepless nights as a massive brush fire burns near homes in Golden Gate Estates.
Police officers, fire department, ambulances going through all this, and we couldn't sleep. We were worried. We didn't get any information at all.
Families doing whatever they can to keep their houses safe.
This is the best we can do, just try watering, but as you can see, it's like all dried up. We're worried. We're just worried, scared. We don't know. We have no place to go.
Down the street, neighbors rushed to pack their things after the mandatory evacuation order came down.
Well, I'm not taking chances. It's not worth anything here. Staying for.
Families going through their homes, grabbing the most cherished items before they head out.
Things that are not replaceable, the pictures and, just all the memento items, just really things of value, our animals.
Now all they can do is watch and hope for the best.
Gets a little bit of fear there, but we're just trusting that, this is all going to be taken care of and that's not going to hit our house and we'll be able to come back to our home.
Now, this is not an overnight shelter here. You're also not allowed to bring your animals here. If you do have animals, the county's opened up a shelter for them over at North Collier Regional Park. Reporting live in Golden Gate City, Devin Turk, NBC2.
And even exotic wildlife animals have to be rescued from this fire. This is a picture of a rhino at a wildlife refuge in the fire zone off Inez Road. The owner was having difficulty getting him out. Firefighters, though, were able to get in, save him, along with 2 panthers and a giraffe. Inyala Wildlife Preserve says all of their animals are safe. And NBC2 went up in the Sky 2 helicopter this afternoon to give you a bird's eye view of this wildfire and to show you just how widespread it is. Take a look at all of that smoke.
Also monitoring a smaller brush fire that just popped up along I-75, also in Collier County. This is still video. Here we go. That's the new video. You see just off to the upper left-hand corner of your screen, some smoke coming out of the trees right along the interstate at mile marker 87. Farther north on the interstate, there is some smoke billowing across, and one northbound lane is closed. Firefighters working to put out this fire.
Turning our attention now to Charlotte County. There is a 55-acre brush fire burning there between Cattle Dock Road and Conway Road. This is in the Gardens of Gulf Cove neighborhood off State Road 776 in the El Jobin area of Charlotte County. We're told that 3 homes there have been evacuated. And the smoke from all these wildfires so thick that, look at this, it's actually showing up on our First Alert live Doppler radar.
Today also the worst fire danger forecast so far this season. Meteorologist Jason Dunning first told you about that new fire forecast last night at 11. He joins us now, giving us a look at the weather conditions that are making it really tough for firefighters.
Yeah, Peter, really 2 main things that have really elevated the fire danger today. 1, humidity levels have dropped, so fires like lower humidity. And number 2, as we look past the flagpole in Lehigh Acres, the winds have really been kicking up through the afternoon. Wind gusts up above 20 to 25, which makes it really difficult for firefighters to contain these fires and also helps them to spread quite easily. In Lehigh Acres, in our live weather station there, we've seen wind gusts up to around 20 miles per hour for the rest of Southwest Florida. Wind gusts getting as high as just under 30 in Punta Gorda at the Charlotte High School there. Let's take a look at that wind forecast as we go through this evening. And after sunset tonight, the winds will begin to relax and subside a little bit, so that's going to help. But still, 11:30 tonight, we have sustained winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour, mainly coming in from the east. And I think a lot of us, especially over Lee and Collier County, will smell some of that smoke first thing in the morning on Saturday. And as we look ahead to Saturday afternoon, winds not quite as strong. I think we could see some wind gusts up to around 20. But the thing to focus on this weekend is some rain down to the south around the Florida Keys right now, but we're going to see some of this lift up into southwest Florida this weekend. I'll time it out, show you about how much to expect where you live, and your first alert forecast coming up in about 5 minutes.
Now from our Cape Coral news team, the city is on a mandatory, I'm jumping ahead. We're still talking about fire here. To recap, big breaking news story, several brush fires burning, as we've been telling you throughout the evening. The largest one in Collier County. It's now grown to 4,800 acres, destroying homes, forcing more than 2,000 mandatory evacuations. We'll continue to bring you updates on this fire throughout the newscast and online at NBC2.com. Now from our Cape Coral news team, the city now on a mandatory once-a-week watering schedule. The city manager declared an emergency water shortage as we finish out yet another week with no significant rain. New at 6, NBC2 anchor Brittany Weiner discovered the city is finding other ways to bring water to the canals.
That's right, Peter. The city will pay a mine owner in Charlotte County 10 cents for every 1,000 gallons of water pumped down US 41 and into Cape canals. In return, the owner will buy dirt from the city to reduce the cost to taxpayers.
You see where the water line is on the wall where that dark line is.
Ron McKay has been watching the water levels around his home drop for months.
I'm lucky. The guy across the lake, he hasn't been able to get off there for a month.
He understands why the city is moving to a once-a-week watering schedule.
There we go. We'll just water Sunday nights.
City officials say Cape residents can use up to 40 million gallons of irrigation water a day.
We're on track to this being the worst drought in recent memory.
On top of a new watering schedule, the city is also doing an emergency water supply test on a project years in the making.
We're going to be supplementing our canals with 17 million gallons a day of fresh water.
Cape Coral Utilities Director Jeff Pearson says starting next Thursday, water will be pumped along the south edge of the mine property, flow by gravity through the swales along US 41 down to Gator Slough.
We have 5 canal pump stations here, 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 and here, where we'll be withdrawing the water.
Once our area gets a large amount of rain, pumping will stop. But until that rain event comes, Pearson says people need to follow these new restrictions.
We know a lot of our customers follow the rules and follow the restrictions. We just want to catch the folks that disregard the rules.
And that new schedule started at midnight, and already the city says it's been out looking for violators. The new watering schedule is on our website, NBC2.com. If residents don't follow the new schedule, they could face violations that could cost them hundreds. Live in the studio, Brittany Weiner, NBC2.
Yeah, about those violators, NBC2 learned today the city has handed out more than 5,000 water violations over the past couple of months. Most people got a warning the first time, but there were some second and third time violators that were fined hundreds of dollars.
Well, tonight we're learning new information after 3 people were shot in a Lehigh Acres home, including a woman who was shot and killed in front of her son. It happened Thursday night at 4th Street Southwest near Elvis Street. A witness tells NBC2 one of the children who lives in the home was walking down the street claiming his stepfather shot his mom. A family friend tells us the couple fought a lot and the stepfather did own multiple guns.
He always carried a gun on him. He had a sign that says, "You will be shot on sight." He had a gun permit.
The Lee County Sheriff's Office will only confirm that a death investigation is underway.
Naked pictures of a missing Lee County girl will be used in the trial of the man suspected in her disappearance. Jorge Guerrero faces federal child porn charges after investigators found those lewd pictures of Diana Alvarez on his cell phone. He tried to get those pictures taken out as evidence, but the judge today said no, they're going to stay in. The 9-year-old disappeared from her San Carlos Park home more than 10 months ago. Guerrero used to live with the Alvarez family. He has not been charged so far with Diana's disappearance.
We continue to cover major breaking news tonight. Multiple brush fires burning across southwest Florida. In Charlotte, Lee, and Collier counties, thousands forced to evacuate. NBC2 will have a live update from Lehigh Acres next.
I've spent a lot of time in Washington as we build relationships to do things that are good for this state.
A plan to clean up the water along our coast. Governor Scott tells NBC2 what he and the president are working on next at 6. We continue to follow breaking news at 6. NBC2 was monitoring 4 different brush fires throughout Lee, Collier, and Charlotte counties. Homes are threatened in all 3 counties.
This is brand new video from Lehigh Acres, where firefighters are telling homeowners, get out. This is near West 9th Street and Ann Avenue North, and we just got word from the Caloosahatchee Forestry Center. 100 acres are currently burning. 4 structures there have been lost. Several roads are closed in the area. And NBC2's Jesse Pagan joins us now from there live.
Lisa, Peter, 4 of those structures have been lost, as you just mentioned. And take a look at this. We have neighbors here trying to make sure that their homes do not become the 5th. This man here has been watering his home for the past about, I would say, 20, 30 minutes right now. His home, his lawn, his plants, his windows. The sprinklers are even on here right now, just making sure that everything can be doused in some water. But I want to show you now, this is what it looks like right here. This is as far as we can get. The last time, about 30 minutes ago, when I was talking to you guys over the phone, we were way back there beyond where the sheriff's deputies are right now, and this is because the fire was not that close. Now, as I was telling you, homes back there, people there have been dousing their homes, trying to do anything they can until the very last second, when they quite literally just had to run over this way to their cars. This is the scene here, and we're told this is the scene at a couple other intersections in this neighborhood that kind of circle this fire here near Hannah Avenue. Of course, count on NBC2 to continue to keep you updated on these amazing images in Lehigh Acres as neighbors and firefighters fight this fire. Live in Lehigh Acres, Jesse Pagan, NBC2.
All right, thank you, Jesse. We certainly need some help from Mother Nature. And the good news is, as we look into the weekend, we are going to see increasing rain chances for us, especially if you do live farther south over Collier County. We'll get to the weekend forecast here in just a moment. First, I want to start off with a radar tour. And what we're tracking right now is not rain, but smoke. And this smoke plume over Lee County looking more impressive. The source of that fire, of course, over Lehigh Acres, just north of Lee Boulevard, close to Williams Avenue. Here's Buckingham. And those east to southeasterly winds helping to pick that smoke up, carrying over downtown Fort Myers, across the Caloosahatchee. Here's North Fort Myers around Suncoast Estates and over northern parts of Cape Coral. So we'll continue to track this with our live Doppler radar as we head through this evening. Also, this is the other smoke plume that we're watching over Collier County. That 30th Avenue fire, it's encompassed over 4,000 acres. That smoke drifting off toward North Naples and into the Gulf of Mexico. This smoke plume about 40 miles across as it goes out into the Gulf of Mexico. That is quite impressive. And this is a brand new fire forecast map, the fire danger index for tomorrow. Very high for Lee and Charlotte County. Notice though, Collier County dropping a little bit down to moderate. Part of that having to do with the fact that we do expect to see some rain build into the forecast late Saturday and to Sunday. But for this evening and tonight, pretty quiet. You're likely going to smell some smoke. First thing in the morning on Saturday as a lot of that smoke settles down closer to the surface. Let's go through the weekend hour by hour. Tomorrow morning we'll start off nice and quiet and dry, but clouds will increase from the south as we head into the afternoon. So most of the daytime hours quiet, but look down to the south over Collier County by around 4 or 5 o'clock as we start to get some of this moisture lifting northward. So I think we're going to see some areas of scattered rain Saturday evening. Best chance likely from the Caloosahatchee River south. But all of us will see the opportunity to pick up on some downpours. We'll have to sort of continue to fine-tune the forecast in terms of timing and exactly where these rain bands will set up. But you can see as we look ahead to Sunday morning, waves of rain coming our way from the Gulf of Mexico, and then things start to quiet down late Sunday. I think Sunday afternoon, a lot of the rain will be deeper inland along and east of I-75, but at least we're tracking a chance for rain in the forecast. And let me show you this. This is our forecast rain potential, showing where we're going to see some of the higher amounts. And talk about a tease. Notice where some of the higher 2+ inch totals cut off just south of Collier County. I think for most of Southwest Florida, we'll see under an inch, but we could see some pockets here over Collier County perhaps getting closer to an inch of rain. As we go past the weekend into early next week, we have a cold front that's going to sweep through. It's a relatively weak one, and it's not going to bring us any chilly air, but it will lower our humidity. Notice how the winds start to come in from the west and northwest, and that's going to dry us out as we look ahead to next week. So the fire danger will likely grow as we look ahead to your extended forecast. We've got that rain opportunity late Saturday into early Sunday. We could even see a few embedded thunderstorms, and then our weather will turn quite breezy by early next week in the wake of that cold front, which is not good news for that high fire danger. That is your NBC2 First Alert forecast.
Governor Rick Scott is revealing details of his one-on-one meeting with President Trump. The two met this week in Washington to talk about preventing dirty water releases to our coast.
New at 6, the governor told NBC2's chief political correspondent Dave Elias there is now a plan in place to clean up water from Lake Okeechobee.
Polluted water like this along the west coast of Florida last year got the attention of Donald Trump.
That includes repairing the Herbert Hoover Dike at Lake Okeechobee and protecting the Florida Everglades.
That was candidate Trump last October in Collier County, promising to clean up polluted water coming out of Lake Okeechobee. This week, the governor is asking the state to release money to repair the Herbert Hoover Dike in order to begin cleanup of Lake O.
As you know, on Monday I'd asked the legislature to fund $200 million to repair the dike so we don't have the water coming over towards the Caloosahatchee or to the Indian River Lagoon.
But we're learning that his request didn't stop there. He took another one straight to President Trump in Washington this week.
And I talked to the president about whether the federal government would be a partner, and he said they would, so that was exciting.
Governor Scott tells me his plan calls for getting all the work done in just 5 years.
My goal is to have it finished by 2022, and I spoke to the president about that. I also met with the Army Corps of Engineers about that.
Good news to folks like Daniel Andrews, who have been fighting for clean water.
It's a problem that affects all the different estuaries in Florida, from the Caloosahatchee and St. Lucie all the way down to Florida Bay, and the solution to the problem is sending more water south.
Now, there is no official word on when federal help could come. Now, the governor asked the state for money, and lawmakers haven't committed yet. They still have 2 weeks to figure that out, and the governor told me he's confident that they will. Live in the studio tonight, Dave Elias, NBC2.
NBC2 staying on top of breaking news. When we come back, an update on the multiple brush fires burning in Southwest Florida. A recap of the big news today. We are monitoring 4 different brush fires throughout Lee, Collier, and Charlotte counties. Homes are threatened in all 3 counties.
In Lehigh Acres, firefighters telling homeowners get out. It's 100 acres, still growing, destroyed 4 structures. This video is from near West 9th Street and Ann Avenue North, and there are several roads closed in that area.
In Collier County, at least 5 homes have burned in a 4,800-acre fire. Only 10% contained. This is new video near Garland Road. Power lines sparked a new fire near some other homes. So far, more than 2,000 homes have been evacuated in Collier.
And then in Charlotte County, 55 acres are on fire on McCall Road and Cattle Dock Point Road in Port Charlotte. 3 homes in danger. Firefighters have been able to protect them. Stay with updates throughout the evening at NBC-2.com.